Imagine a world where the very fabric of identity is woven not only through words but also through stunningly intricate costumes. Picture bustling agoras filled with merchants and philosophers, temples adorned with marble statues, and the theater echoing with the powerful dramas of Dionysian worship. But what if I told you that not only the grand architecture but also the costumes worn by the people of ancient Greece were a tapestry of the bizarre and fascinating? In today's journey, we will delve into an awe-inspiring exploration of the extraordinary costumes that define this ancient civilization. Trust me, as we venture deeper, you'll discover shocking details that will change how you view history and fashion forever. The ancient Greeks had a unique relationship with clothing that transcended mere practicality. Their garments told stories, conveyed status, and even acted as props in rituals. From the flowing himation to the structured chitons, each piece was rich with symbolism and artistry. But the most striking feature of Greek attire wasn't its simplicity, it was the peculiar embellishments and accessories that often accompanied these outfits. Think about it. Have you ever wondered about the beliefs and customs tied to these unusual costume elements? Why did they adorn themselves in such extraordinary ways? Stick around, because the secrets behind these choices are as captivating as the garments themselves. Let's start with one of the most iconic pieces of clothing, the chiton. When you picture ancient Greek clothing, this might be what comes to mind. The chiton was a tunic, worn by both men and women, made from long strips of light fabric. The style was versatile, draped and belted in various ways. It could evoke different moods depending on how it was worn. But here's a twist. Did you know that how one wore their chiton could reveal their social standing? An embellished chiton indicated aristocracy, while a plain one suggested lower status. Can you imagine walking through the streets, and your clothing alone signifying your entire identity? What a tantalizing concept. However, the chiton was just the beginning. Enter the himation, a rectangular piece of fabric that could be worn over the chiton. This garment had an elegance that conveyed both grace and social importance. The himation was not merely a cloak, it could be dramatically thrown over one shoulder or wrapped entirely around the body, serving as a tool for expression, practically like wearing your emotions. But what you might not know is that this draping technique often took considerable skill, and the more elaborate the draping, the more it showcased the wearer's artistic flair. Have you ever thought about what messages your outfit sends? In ancient Greece, every fold told a story, every drape exuded intention. As we dive deeper into this world, let's unravel the layers of ancient Greek accessories. We can't ignore the intricate jewelry that adorned their bodies. What kind of adornments did the ancient Greeks favor? They cherished jewelry made of gold, silver, and semi-precious stones, with designs often inspired by nature or mythology. Bracelets, necklaces, and elaborate earrings became symbols of wealth and status. Imagine a society where even the smallest piece of jewelry sparked curiosity. What intricate stories or beliefs did they carry? It's mind-blowing, isn't it? Jewelry was not just decoration, it was a cultural statement, a physical narrative of one's journey. Speaking of narratives, the Greeks were known for their theatrical performances, and the costumes worn on stage took bizarre twists that reflect deeper truths about their culture. The use of masks is perhaps one of the most fascinating aspects of ancient Greek theater. Masks allowed actors to portray various characters, embody emotions, and even assist in projecting their voices to the back rows of the amphitheater. These masks were often exaggerated, with oversized facial features that made emotions easily recognizable. Anger, joy, and sorrow were all elaborately depicted. But what if I told you that these masks had a spiritual significance as well? Yes, aside from their theatrical use, they were believed to facilitate a connection with the gods, transforming the wearer into the persona of the deity they portrayed. This begs the question, did they believe their performances were not merely entertainment, but a form of worship? As we pull the layers of history back, you'll find astonishing intersections where faith, art, and daily life collide in ways you never imagined. And then there were the circumstances of the Dionysian festivals. The wild revelries dedicated to Dionysus, the god of wine and ecstasy, saw participants in costumes that would shock contemporary standards. Imagine vibrant colors, flamboyant patterns, and zealous accessories that screamed exuberance. Notably, some men would dress as women to honor the goddess of fertility. This allowed for the exploration of gender fluidity within their costumes, a dangerous yet liberating act reflecting the complexities of gender identity during that era. What about elements that seem even more bizarre? Some participants would wear laurel crowns and outfits covered in grapevines as symbols of fertility and life. Perhaps you're wondering how a simple crown can carry such weight. In the ancient Greek mindset, these were not just adornments, they were sacred symbols of divine connection and reverence. Every performance, every festival, every piece of fabric was imbued with meaning. Equally poignant were the warriors' outfits, particularly those of hoplites or elite soldiers. The armor worn by these warriors was not just a protective measure, it was a statement of bravery, honor, and pride. The chest plate, or thorax, was often intricately designed, showcasing the craftsmanship of the period, with motifs that highlighted themes of valor or lineage. Did you know that their helmets often had embellishments like crests made of horsehair or feathers that symbolized rank? It's incredible to consider how the visuals of armor blazed a path to a soldier's identity. Now, you might be asking yourself, where do all these bizarre costumes fit into our understanding of ancient religion and beliefs? Surprisingly, they serve as the threads that connect myths, rituals, and societal structure. The ancient Greeks wore their culture on their sleeves, sometimes literally. For instance, during sacred ceremonies, garments would be donned that were specially woven for the occasion, adorned with deific symbols. Glossy silks, vibrant dyes, and intricate designs were reserved for the most significant events, blurring the lines between the divine and the mortal. What do you think these elaborate pieces revealed about their beliefs in the divine? Moving forward, we can't neglect the Amazons, the fierce warrior women of ancient lore, who became a part of Greek cultural imagination. Their attire, often depicted in art, always struck with an unusual blend of femininity and power. They wore short tunics that allowed for movement in battle, combined with armor that shifted traditional gender norms. What's fascinating is the portrayal of Amazons in art constantly challenged the societal expectations of women. Could they be considered archetypes of feminism before feminism even existed? Answering that may reveal a deeper layer of fascination. Then there's the contrast between everyday clothing and ceremonial attire. The distinction was stark. While the common citizen may have worn simple cloth and practical designs, those in positions of power or wealth would adorn themselves in garments that sparkled with jewels, adorned with gold embroidery and exotic materials. Elaborate ceremonial dress didn't merely mark their status, it reinforced the power dynamics of society. Can you see the seeds of our modern societal structure woven into their cloth? Let's consider something that may come as a surprise. Fashion not only reflected personal identity but also political ideals. During the Golden Age of Athens, the emphasis on beauty and aesthetics spilled into a realm of political ideology, promoting the concept of kalokagathia, which suggested that moral virtue and physical beauty were intertwined. How compelling is it that the very costumes they wore spoke to philosophical ideals that govern their lives? As we dive deeper into the eccentricities of ancient Greek clothing, let's address the role of dyeing and the vivid colors they used. Procedure methods included extracting dyes from plants, shellfish, and minerals, achieving striking colors ranging from deep blues and purples, the colors of wealth and royalty, to bright reds and greens. This technique was labor-intensive, therefore, colorful clothing often indicated wealth and was a privilege of the elite. Have you considered how something as simple as the colors of fabric could dictate social status? Moving along our exploration of vibrant hues, the textiles themselves reveal an equally intriguing layer. Wool, linen, and silk were the threads woven into the fabric of daily life. Trade routes brought exotic silks from the East, revolutionizing their patterns and styles. Silk was especially prized and often reserved for the elite, its rarity serving as a reminder of social hierarchies. Think about how textiles foster cultural exchange, intricately linking civilizations through the trade of fabric. Isn't it remarkable how something as simple as clothing can serve as a medium of connection across cultures? Towards the end of our expedition into these strange and fascinating costumes lies an unexpected twist. The ever-evolving nature of ancient Greek clothing melded with shifting political, social, and religious landscapes. As the Greeks transitioned through trials, including the rise and fall of empires, with new conquests and cultural influences, their costumes were simultaneously shaped. This ability to adapt didn't just reflect survival, it demonstrated a dynamic culture eager to embrace and reimagine itself over time. Isn't it fascinating that perhaps the Greeks, in their boldness to adopt and adapt, were the precursors to modern fashion without knowing it? Finally, let's reflect on a thought-provoking conclusion. Ancient Greek garments were never just clothing, they were a canvas of history, identity, and spirituality. Each piece of fabric tells stories of love, war, beliefs, and aspirations, showcasing the ingenuity and creativity of their creators. From bizarre costumes embodying the gods to the practical tunics of the masses, every thread and embellishment narrates a tale that deserves exploration and admiration. As we close, think of the lasting legacy of these extraordinary costumes. They shaped not only a civilization but also informed modern fashion sensibilities, serving as poignant reminders of humanity's diverse history of self-expression. The next time you slip into clothing or admire someone's outfit, remember that each choice is steeped in centuries of culture and creativity, and that history is far more alive and vibrant than we ever imagined. So, what's your next outfit saying about you?